As of November 25th, 2025, I have the seventh most viewed short ever on sugaring. This is across YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I've only videos that have performed higher than this one. How did I do that? And how can you replicate that for your sugaring business, your gym, your whatever it may be? There is one common factor that I believe set this video apart. So, first of all, I want to lay a little bit of groundwork here about how this was even possible to begin with. The first thing is frequent posting. A lot of people, it's the number one thing people should do that they don't do. So if you have a gym, I don't care what it is, you could be a farmer growing potatoes. If you want to get new customers online without having to dump a ton of money into Facebook ads, you need to be posting consistently. Every day is preferred. Every other day is okay. If you miss a day, don't stress. Don't let that knock you off your momentum. Keep going. But posting every day is what trains the algorithm to know the type of people that want to see your content the most. And then also it gives you, it's partially just a numbers game. If you post hundreds of times, eventually you're gonna hit a bullseye. Even if the content isn't that good, if I posted 10,000 videos on this account, one of them might get 1.8 million. But no, we're only about, I think this was our 31st post. So we are not very far into this. This was definitely not luck. The second part of it is utilizing content that these platforms will give you tons of viewers just for posting in that medium. That is shorts, short form content, YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, Facebook reels, TikTok. Algorithmically, it's the most bang for your buck content that you could post. All you have to do is switch from taking before and after pictures and start taking in progress videos, in this case of sugaring, and you will be setting yourself apart and tapping into an algorithm that is going to be doing you all the favors that you need. Now, the last point. This is what I believe really set this video apart from the 32 other videos that I've posted on this account. And that is, to say it very broadly, it provided a value to the viewer. What that value looks like, in this case, it's, if we were to take, value is the very general category, we cut that in half. The next category would be entertainment. But to get even more specific, it sparked a curiosity in the viewer that they could not look away. I've done this before, and I've had videos that perform way above average, but not as much as this one. There we go. So first of all, there is a slightly controversial text on the screen. The best thing about sugaring, it's almost painless. Some of the comments say, BS, you are wrong, it is not almost painless. Really, it for the most part is, but of course, everyone, they react differently. Some people are more sensitive than others. This made people have something to say. You are lying. That hurt. It sparks up a little bit of controversy, but not in a way that you're saying anything negative. For 80% of people, they would be like, yeah, totally. Probably even more, like 90. There's a couple people that are going to be like, no. And this statement is still true. It's just going to get the people that disagree to get riled up a little bit. So you're starting with a minute amount of controversy. You are making a generalization that is true, but it's a generalization. There's always people that are they're going to say that's not true. Now, the second part here, the confusion element of it. So sometimes for my videos, I will start by telling like half of the story. So in this case, what's really great about any time you are working on a body is sometimes the body can be confusing. Sometimes there's certain angles you can capture, especially with something like sugaring where, it's intimate. People don't always want to have their face on camera. Also, you need to get close anyways to really be able to see all the hair fibers. People all the time are like, wait, what is this? Like, what am I looking at? It's like an armpit zoomed in. In this case, this is an armpit. People didn't know what they were looking at. And this also sparked a lot of conversation in the comments where people were saying, I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. What body part is this? And then people start talking about sugaring and it stirs up conversation. The way that this could work for something besides a sugaring, esthetician, something besides just like working really close up on the body. For example, I had a chiro and we had the very first frame of the video look like she was like putting this tool against this, like, it was like a little boy, his head, and it looked like, whoa, what is she doing? And then you watch the video and the kid's sitting there, he's playing with the truck, he's fine, he's not hurt. But it made people be like, oh my God, what is happening? Oh, okay, he's fine. And now I'm in this video, I am super, super hooked. Now I want to know what the story is. I want to know what's going on. That curiosity, that hook, is how you pull people in. Of course, the more controversial you're willing to be, or the more, curiosity you're willing to spark, the better. But you can always just do that in a much more toned down way than having like a machine against a kid's head or something. You could have it where you're doing a workout video and maybe, at the end you put down your weights and it bounced and it hit you and you stumbled backwards and it looks stupid, but maybe you think this is, yeah, I look stupid in this. I don't look very professional. But putting that at the beginning of the video is going to get people to be hooked in. Like, oh my God, what's happening here? They're curious. They're going to stay. Your watch through rate is going to improve. And then you can still have an educational hook to that. Like, what I'm thinking of right now is, progress isn't made with perfection. It's made with powering through the fails. I don't know. I made that up off the top of my head. Something like that is how you can really hook people in. It doesn't have to be every video, but any way that you can spark curiosity, get people to say, I had a great mentor of mine tell me all of our content, in his case, this doesn't apply to me always, but in all of our content, we want people to stop and say WTF. Not always great for like a professional, but that sort of mentality, that WTF mentality, is what took this video to 1.8 million views and got her 5.5 thousand interactions and almost 2,000 followers in less than 30 days. All that you have to do is do the three things that I mentioned. Post every day, make sure when you're posting you're using reels, and then finally, when you're making content, make people curious. To put it extremely bluntly, people do not give an F about you, no matter how fantastic your service is, no matter how much experience you have being a personal trainer, no matter how many results you've gotten. If you cannot make them say WTF in a good way, in a bad way, in whatever way you're comfortable being, getting someone to say, I cannot live with myself if I do not finish this video and absorb all the information you're giving me, you will not be getting 1.8 million view videos. You will not be being the 7th most viewed video ever in your category. You have to be willing to do the essential core blueprint things to propel your business forward on social media, as well as not play it safe with your content. Go big with value. Go big with the WTF. That is how you pull in 1.8 million views and add almost 2,000 people to your pipeline.